Two teams on opposite ends of the Sunshine State. The Jags and Dolphins are underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the rookie from Arizona State, it's Kalen Ballage. Space to maneuver at the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
First carry for Kenyon Drake. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Toss play to Ballage. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. All right, now, look at 56.
He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down. To throw now on first down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll drop the throw. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Leopard! Leopard!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. Touchdown, Jaguars! A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And, partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere. But they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback. And, indeed, he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back, came back and traded back into the first round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
Well, maybe they can use that and carbon copy it. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On second down, it's Drake. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Rosen to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
So now here come the Dolphins. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll start with a give here to Balaj. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Short, Drake. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So we got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Detroit! Detroit! Mike 50, Mike 50. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Check it out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Oliver. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. Called out a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They run it with Balaj. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Watch it now, Barney!
On the toss, here's Balaj. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Balaj. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's a big play there for Miami. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Balazs. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively.
Watch it now, Barney!
Balazs. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kalen Balazs, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a handoff working right. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Play action, they'll throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll set up a throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll stay on the ground. Mirage again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And they'll run it here. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give them a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. They'll set up to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer
this time?
Yeah, get a little
closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, Less of a field goal attempt for him.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Again, it's Ballage. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That good for 19 and a first down.
There's no doubt that his size is a factor, but I've seen a lot of big running backs in the league not have that kind of impact because they don't run like a big back should. Get behind their pads, as they like to say, lower center of gravity, and knock people backwards. Sometimes they run too upright and take too many hits. Not this guy. He knows how to get low, break tackles, and gain additional yardage.
On first down, Drake. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Right back to Drake. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Play was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And brought down, but not before approaching the 45-yard line. 10 more there and another first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now back to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start on the ground with Balaj. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Watch right.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hey, watch the ball.
3rd and long here for Rosen. And Allen's got it. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
That's it, baby.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Check three.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. And on the ground they go with the running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Hey, 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 hey. Four down. Shift.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Here we go. It's Rosen on fourth down. And no, it's incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Still a lot that can happen, but you think they get points on this drive, even if it's just 3. Should wrap this one up.
And you got to love their starting field position. So if you're the play caller right now, being on the plus side of the 50, you're thinking exactly what you're saying. Get 3, get out of here with at least that. But hey, you might have a chance to put 6 on the board and really take control.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Back to 89 Philly. Here we go.
Back to throw here. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Dropped at the 35, but he was able to display the agility there. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And they'll run it here. And a short gain down to about the 33. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. It's complete to Grant. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. A throw left side complete to his receiver Westbrook. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. And now it's third down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. The Jaguars on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll go on the ground. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Jacksonville, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles.